Good morning or good afternoon, whichever the case may be. Welcome again to our devotional time here at Temple. We're going to be in the book of Proverbs, chapter 12. And if you look at, and you please do, get start at verse 2 and go through verse 15. I want to read verse 15 to you. The way of fools seem right to them, but the wise listen to advice. I find that the book of Proverbs is maybe one of the unique books among the books of the Bible because of the way it presents its content. It doesn't have, most of it contain ongoing narratives or stories or a collection of songs, continuous teaching, or a connected prophecy message. But Proverbs is much more random than that. The continuous teachings in chapter 1 through 9 and chapter 31, but in between that falls all these wise sayings, and so for the most part, they don't seem to be, in any particular order or that, but nevertheless, within these sayings and these proverbs that are here, it gets us in an insight to what James was talking about in the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 17. Wisdom that comes from heaven offers guidance for living in our faith in difficult and often dark world. So we need some advice sometimes, don't we? During the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln once found himself wanting to please a politician. Yes, even back then they done that. So he issued a command to transfer certain Union Army regiments. And so when the Secretary of War at that time, Edwin Stanton, received the order, he refused to carry it out, and he said that the president was a fool. Now, Lincoln was told what Stanton had said, and his reply was, if Stanton said I'm a fool, I must be, for he's nearly always right. He said, I'll see for myself. I'll go talk to him. And so as the two men talked and discussed the situation, President Lincoln quickly realized that he had made a serious mistake, and he withdrew. Without hesitation, he withdrew. And though Stanton had called Lincoln a fool, the president really proved to be wise. He could have dug in his heels and he said, I'm the commander-in-chief, I'm the president, and you will do this. But instead, he listened to advice, he considered it, and he changed his mind. Now, the way of a fool seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. And I think we could just say that we probably met someone who simply wouldn't listen to wise advice. May not have to go any farther than to look in the mirror to see the person that didn't listen to wise advice. And it can, we can get frustrated over that, can't we? If one person refuses to listen to advice, and what they say, the way of the fool seems right to them, but the wise listen to advice. We're not always right, are we? People are not always right, but the same goes for us. We're not always right, and knowing that everyone makes mistakes, we need to know that. Godly wisdom, and let's exercise godly wisdom. Let's listen to wise advice of others, and even if we initially disagree with it. And I've done that. I don't know about you. I've disagreed with things, and after I've thought about it and listened a little bit, I've had to change my mind. But and sometimes I think that's exactly how God works for our good. So don't think you know everything, because we don't, but we rely on God. The good advice is found in God's Word. We welcome you to our services at Temple Baptist Church. Sunday mornings we meet at 8 o'clock for worship, 9 o'clock for Sunday school, then we have a 10 o'clock worship, 6 o'clock Sunday night, and 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Come and be a part of our services. May God bless you is our prayer.